Welcome to The Art of Speaking Up, a podcast that empowers professional women to rise. I'm your host, Jessica Guzik, and in this show, I take you undercover into the stories and lessons that I learned, sometimes the hard way, throughout my career. I also talk with working women, leaders, and coaches to show you that no matter what your struggle is, and no matter what your career goals are, you already have all the talent that you need to succeed. Welcome to this bonus episode. This is an extension of my conversation that I had with Geeta, which is the episode right before this one. If you haven't listened to that one yet, I would definitely suggest listening to that one to get to know Geeta, to get a little bit more familiar with her work and how this fits into it. But I wanted to separate this piece out of the main episode because she talks about visualization and she gives instructions on how to do visualization and how to use it in your career and in your life to help build confidence and achieve your goals. And it's a very practical thing. So I wanted to separate it out on its own so that if you want to come back to it and remind yourself and try it out, it is super easy to find. So in this mini episode, you will hear her talk about the science behind it, why it works, a little bit of context around it, and then she walks through how to do it. And she will challenge us to all give it a try. So with that, I will get straight in and I'll catch you at the end.
I am a huge fan of visualization. We can even tie it into the topic of the podcast, speaking up, and kind of tie those concepts together. You can visualize bringing your authentic self and speak up with confidence. These are Jess's words, bringing your authentic self to work and speak up with confidence. And the visualization they show in movies, and I do not want to diss it. I just want to kind of create the differentiation from the part where you look in the mirror and say, I'm awesome, I'm amazing, I'll conquer the world today. I'm not saying that doesn't work. It might work for a lot of wonderful people. That's not the kind of visualization I'm talking about. It's very, very specific and very scientific in my own understanding and very subtle. So let's look at why don't we just do it? It sounds wonderful. Just speak up, okay? Go out there, be your authentic self, especially for women. Why aren't we doing it? What's the hiccup? Well, the short answer is we don't feel safe being our authentic selves and speaking up with confidence. It's not that we don't have things to say. Sometimes there is a part of us which needs to develop, what do I have to really say? That's a different journey. But for a lot of us, we do have an authentic self. We do have thoughts. So why don't we just speak up? Well, because we don't feel safe. So it's very important before you dig into visualization. In my professional opinion, it's important to understand why I just don't do it in the first place and have a lot of compassion for that point of view that your subconscious might have in not fully and powerfully aiding you, helping you, and being your cheerleader in this quest of speaking up with confidence and being your authentic selves. Why is the subconscious not aiding us? Well, because it's not safe. Long answer for why it's not safe would be, well, evolution-wise, I think it's been better for us if we just kind of kept our mouth shut for the most part. Did not really express strong emotions. We were handling babies in the beginning. Probably it was safer if we just didn't get angry, didn't express any rage. And over time, the situation culturally, I think, just got a little bit more ingrained in us that it was better. Women who weren't very outspoken were seen as better and more, cultured, refined, doesn't matter. But there's a reason. So I just want you to understand that, it's not that I'm just not confident and there's something off about me, or no, actually, there's a smartness to it. There's a very deep reason. Your subconscious loves you, wants to keep you safe. I mean, it can be argued that women have literally been burned at the stake for speaking up. And you don't have to go so deep into the past to find those instances. So we can have some appreciation for our internal system for wanting to keep us safe, So first have that understanding. So you're not just kind of steamrolling over yourself and saying, oh, just speak up. It's a great thing to do. Say, no. I get it. Now, You want to communicate to the subconscious internal system that in this day and age, in your current life, it is indeed safe to show up authentically as you are and speak your mind. Be who you are and say what you want. That's safe to do. You need to get that message to that system that's so furiously trying to protect you. And that's, for me, what visualization is about. It's speaking to that system. So the components of a visualization exercise, so take a few minutes and then do some deep breathing, check in with your body. So kind of like a quick body scan. If there's some obvious tension somewhere in your body, just kind of check into it, say a little hi, request it to release itself. Some of you might have your favorite meditation practice. Then I'm not a meditation expert at all. So just draw from that, draw from something that already appeals to you. Take 2 to 3 minutes to just come to a calm, sort of restful place inside of yourself. For me, what works is saying to myself that there is nothing I need to be doing right now. Nowhere else I need to be. Nothing else I would rather be doing right now than this visualization exercise. I tend to have an issue of always thinking that there's something else I should be doing. So for me, that message is very important. So take 2-3 minutes and calm yourself down. Go to your safe place where everything is right. It's not too cold. It's not too warm. You feel good. And then you play out this scenario in your head. Choose your scenario. Is it a difficult conversation? Is it a meeting? Is it a conversation over lunch? Choose something to start to play with. You can use this in many, many different ways. And as you start to play with it, you'll just, have so much fun and say, oh, I'm going to visualize having this difficult conversation. So let's just pick something generic so we can all sort of relate to it. So it's a work conversation, some kind. There's 1 or 2 people in the scene. It helps to even imagine what you're wearing. If you have some sort of a uniform that you wear, I have a uniform, solids and maybe a scarf or something. So if you make it specific, the movie starts to make sense. So remember that your subconscious doesn't understand English. You cannot order it into feeling safe. But it does understand visual imagery really well. That's what you're trying to do. You need to calm yourself down so the visual imagery goes through the brain waves. So things are kind of calm. So it receives the message you're giving it. Some people, when they say visualize, they actually see a movie in their mind. I don't, for the record. Maybe I'm too much in my mind to be able to see that. Maybe one day I will, but it's okay. Just say the words to yourself that there I am. I'm wearing this. There's a conversation happening and someone has said something maybe uncomfortable or someone has asked me a question and I feel the pressure that I should know it. Otherwise they'll judge me. And in that movie, in that moment, you're hitting the pause button. And now you describe to yourself your state. That how am I feeling right now? So you say, oh, in this uncomfortable moment, my eyebrows are relaxed, my jaw is relaxed, my facial muscles are relaxed. I feel okay with who I am. I don't feel like I have anything to prove to anybody. I'm present, grounded. My feet are so grounded. I feel very present in my body. And I'm about to say something that I actually feel. Maybe the words that come out of your mouth are, I don't believe I know the answer to that. And you feel so okay with that. You feel like it doesn't reflect on who you are and what you can do or how worthy or employable or anything you are. You just don't know. You're comfortable with it. Yes, that makes you a better leader in the long term, by the way. So you just imagine these things. Choose, write it down. I like to encourage my clients to write down what they will say to themselves. Something very simple. My jaw is relaxed and I'm grounded and I'm peaceful. And just let that sink in. It should feel like eating your ice cream. How wonderful to imagine yourself like that. If you're working too hard or straining too hard to imagine this the right way, it will not work. It won't backfire, don't worry. You can just try again, but it needs to feel good. And then slowly your subconscious gets the message that, you enter into that conversation and your subconscious goes, she has told me about this before. This is fine. There is no need to line up the army to fight this. This is not a threat. This is okay. And then suddenly you're like, I can just be who I am in this moment. I can speak up. I can be my authentic self. Give it time. It takes time to build this muscle up, but it is a muscle. It will guaranteed build up. The entire exercise for me takes maybe anywhere from 6+ minutes, 2 to 3 minutes to find that calm, restful space, a minute or two to run the visualization through, and then a minute to just sit with it and feel how good it feels to be that way, how peaceful it is. It's like allowing yourself to not know the answers, allowing yourself to just be who you are. That's my favorite visualization.
I really enjoyed just listening to it right now made me feel a lot more peaceful. And I think that's going to be really helpful for people who are listening. So if someone wants to get started and do this visualization, what would you challenge them to do? Like, should they do it every day, or what's like a nice way to get started?
Oh, yes. This week, I want to challenge my listeners to do it every day. It doesn't matter what time of the day you do it as much as if you can do it somewhat at the same time every day. So sometimes I am, mother of two strong-minded kids aged 9 and 14. And sometimes for me, the predictable time to do it is at bedtime. Or if I can get up before the madness begins, then in the morning. So choose your time, and you can do it a very quick one too. You can just do a 1-minute one in the restroom, and you can do it midday as well. And once you start to play with it, people combine that with intention setting and just have this little moment to ourselves. And if you just think about it, you start to feel confident. Eventually, when you think about the fact that you're visualizing, you start to feel the calmness because you've established the habit. And it's just like the brain is very quick. And say when she sits down to visualize, then she does this from A to B, the calmness, then she plays out the scene, D, E, and then she feels super confident and calm. Over time, the brain will make a connection from A to D. That's how our brains are. We do something over and over again, it makes shortcuts. Next thing you know, you're going into a meeting and you think, oh, the work conversation visualization, and just within 30 seconds, your subconscious knows what you want from it.
So what are you thinking? I'm thinking that I'm going to try this. I have done some visualization before, more to achieve feelings of inner peace and calm, and I've definitely seen results. And it can feel very woo-woo, which is totally fine. Nothing wrong with woo-woo. But for people who like to understand the science behind it, understanding the science for me has really helped me stick with it and believe that it will work. But it all comes down to the brain and the subconscious. And when we give the subconscious images that we deeply relate to, aka visualizations, it takes those in as data, the same way it takes in data as we're moving through our lives. And it can help, it can work. I know because I've tried it and I'm going to continue to do it. So I would love to hear from you if this is something that you've done, if you want to try it with me. Come catch me on Instagram. I'll share more of my thoughts on there and what I'm visualizing and what kind of outcomes I'm trying to achieve, and link to my visualizations. And I would love to hear yours. My handle is The Art of Speaking Up, and I'll catch you on there. And let's all do this together. I think it'd be fun. And I guess with that, I'm going to close off the episode. Hope you're doing well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.